Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome in. Thanks for getting your check-ins. Ryan and Ash and Mark and Allie, everyone getting their check-ins. 73 and 71 times is kind of insane, not gonna lie. How you doing, Ninja? Welcome in. Get your check-in, bro. You have to get your check-in. That's the rules. I don't make the rules. Wait, I kind of do. Hi, Ash. How are you doing? All right, guys. The walls are fixed. The pictures are up. Wait. The lights are wrong, but they're back up. They're back in action. Back at it again. How I do it. Get your with your channel points, bro. On the bottom left, right? Hi, it's Justin. Yes, exactly. I need an animation where the curtains open, like a transition. Yeah, can we get a shot? There you go. There you go. You flipped your cam. I did flip my cam. Wait, but Ash, I feel like you've been here since I did it. I've had my cam flip for like a few streams now. Ryan yelled at me. It's flipped. Yeah, do a flip. It is flipped. Wait, yes, you're right. Yeah, I don't know when I flipped it, but guys, I was in Chicago yesterday. It was a lot of fun. It was very loud, very lit. I got home very late and I had work this morning. But we're gonna have so much fun today. That's why I couldn't stream yesterday. I'm sorry. I missed you guys so much. Um but going to Chicago yesterday felt like a good opportunity and I made it work. But we'll be streaming Monday as well. And we'll do the quarry tomorrow and then switch Pokemon to Monday. So I have a chance to prepare for Pokemon. Um so we'll be playing the quarry tomorrow. I def saw it last time and didn't acknowledge it. You know what? I prefer it that way. Just kidding. Does it okay, how do people feel about me facing this way now? It's not terrible, is it? Like are we used to it now? I feel like Ash, you must be used to it that you didn't even notice until really notice really. Cooking, eating, and cleaning. Oh no. Don't apologize. I am happy that I'm your background TV while you do all your chores. What are you cooking? What are you eating? And are they the same thing? It looks great. I think I like it this way, and I like where I position my cam in gameplay now. I feel like it's pretty universal for any game I want to play. Um, right? Anyway, we're gonna be playing DBD today. Haven't played DBD in what feels like forever. I'm gonna run some solos, and maybe we can play with homies if people are free. But no pressure for anyone. I'm just happy to hang out. Tell me one good thing, guys. Everyone in the chat. One good thing, two good things. If there were more than one, but at least one good thing that happened to you this week. My good thing was that I got to go to Chicago and kind of see two like performers, drag queens that I really like. Sort of like be in their space, kind of be there live. It felt a little weird because the bar we were at was very crowded and noisy. And we weren't really in the same room as them until the end, but it was still pretty cool. I liked being in that company and that energy. It still felt really fun. Thank you for all the shout outs. Star, how are you? Thank you for your check in. I'm in here. I need to edit that sound. I just want to edit it to be I'm a star. I'm in here. I don't know. Figure it out. How are you doing, Star? Yeah, one good thing. One good thing that happened to you this week. I know we all have really stressful lives, but we have one good thing that happened in life. Share it with me. Share it with the class. Thank you for all the shout outs. Um, there you go. Did an Among Us stream last Sunday for the Earthquakes event as well. Yes, you did. Tell me about that. Ah, I love Among Us. I hope you had the best time. Were you ever the imposter? Are you a good imposter? How do we feel about imposter in chat? Because I like being the imposter, but I think people always assume I'm the imposter even when I'm not. So I think I have that kind of aura about me where I like kind of love being in the energy, so I want to be a little mischievous, and people just take that to be guilty or deceptive. Hi Justin, I'm okay, doing a little sunburn. Ooh, how are you? I had work today. So I'm a little beat. I'm a little spent, but I'm okay. I'm feeling social. I want to hang out with my friends. So I want to make sure I'm chatting and checking in because I miss you guys so much. Like I miss streaming is actually so much fun, and just knowing that like my friends will show up and hang out with me, like that is what I love the most. Like I love that you guys just like want to come and like shoot the shit. You and Ronnie have that energy. Oh, so yeah, so Ronnie doesn't seem like I don't even think, but I maybe I just don't assume. Maybe what's happening here is that assumptions are being made. No, I'm just kidding. I don't like to just. I just want to have better like conclusions, not based on like how. Maybe I just want people to treat me that way, but I also am a little. I guess I could see myself judging people based on the energy they're giving. I was imposter twice, and I gaslit to win the second time. Period. And you have to gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss your way to victory as an imposter. I love being an imposter, but I'm risky. Good luck to them. Oh, you just Star be like shank. The Star be like, hey, come over here. Pew pew pew, and just kill people. Just barely get it. Oh, period. Okay, have you guys played? I forget what is it? Lockdown Protocol. That's the game. Have you guys? I couldn't think of the name. I literally buffered for a second. I just had an overall good week. Okay, great. That's also great. Like when the week goes well, we love to see it. Play with Drea. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Lockdown Protocol. Love that game too. Would love to play with some people. I think that we would have so much fun. Just good vibes. That I love that. Are you starting Ash? You're starting a new job soon, right? Did you say August or like the end of this month? I'm remembering you saying you're like transitioning. Lockdown is so much fun. She killed me. I feel like everybody killed me. I can't kill people. I get too nervous. I can't pull a trigger. Like I start to run away or I miss. You know. Sugar P. Welcome in, Sugar P. Okay, let me get into this. It's working, guys. We have a stream. I had to take my setup apart. I think that's also why I didn't stream yesterday. I just was not ready to put my setup back together and like organize it a bit. I have really bad like board management. I need to like get that shit figured out. Oh, program, yes, I'm nervous. You're excited. That's awesome. Yes, okay, I'm remembering that you said you're like excited for this new opportunity you're getting. But I'm glad. I'm glad that's happening soon. Sugar Bee, how have you been? Welcome in. Thank you for getting your check-in. We're gonna. Oh, actually, let's dump some. Look, V is P50, guys.
ซีนแย่ชะมัดเลย
We're kind of killing it. Nola went to her BFF's birthday party today. She's so cute talking about her best friends. Wait, that's so cute. That's awesome. Okay, Star, wait. I'm remembering that you have a supper. Were you at a beach today? What was the vibes today? Were you outside? Were you crisping in the sun outside today? And where was my invite? No, just kidding. I literally had work. And I do not live where you live. But they're turning 6. Ah! That's so big. That is crazy to think. Allie, have you felt like time is like flying by? Like, can you remember it like it was yesterday? We're just like little tiny little things. Excuse me. I think we're gonna play this game for a little bit.
I've never read about or before seeing a place like this.
I was throwing a yard sale. Ooh. And that is not cheap. Period. Period. That's cool. Did you make? I've never actually like held a yard sale myself. Definitely walked through some. But do you feel like it was like you got what you wanted out of it? Three-inch wiener, guys. It's okay, Dwight. My grandma used to take us to garage sales all the time. Not AI viewers. Proof, Dwight. Hold pics and videos and make myself cry. Allie. Allie. That I felt that though. I felt that. Oh, Allie, you're so nostalgic. You're so cute. I do. I mean, I was out there for 3 hours, sold most of my stuff, and made $50. Okay, cool. That's a solid amount. $50. Worth it. Sorry for the late replies. I'm working. I know you're fine, Ash. The kids I work with. Oh, but I think it's gonna be good as long as I take care of myself. Yeah. Like I think what I've learned too is like the importance of taking a break. You know, or like being like, I'm taking my time. Like I am in no rush to do these things. They're gonna happen when they happen, you know. And everything will be okay if they're not done immediately. Maybe I want blue. Ooh, blue might be nice. I like that.
Just vote.
Just vote.
Just vote.
Just vote.
I know.
It was the baby's first time at a beach today. Ooh. Didn't cry. Oh, she's so tough. All right, 3-inch wiener. We got this. Hey. What's up? Yeah. Boop. Alright, Meg, let's do this. Okay, no basement here. Have you watched Love Island? Okay, we started it. We're like halfway through. Maybe less than halfway. But we're not done yet. Meg. Meg. Oh, are you almost started Love Island? It's so fun to watch. No, she's such a big girl. What was that? James. Where's the killer? Where's the killer in all this? Why am I rubber banding? Oh, it's a Jason? What's going on? Rubber band so bad. Why not rubber band? Why not rubber band? What's going on? My connection is unstable. literally. I'm loving Love Island. No, literally. Why am I lagging so bad? I heard that for sure. Guys, what's going on? I might have to reset after this. It's never been this bad. I can't even run in a straight line. I saw you redeem it right as I saw you redeem it. I literally looked at chat. Ah, sorry, you almost got me. Look at this. Oh shit. Oh! I'm landing so bad. Damn, son. Guys, this is not cute. So gay, you can't even restrain. Literally. I got hooked. What is going on? Do you guys see that? Because I see my connection fading. Yeah, like. Okay, Jason's also low key. Skipping and jumping, skipping and jumping. Like, all up in my ass, by the way. This is not good. Guys, I can't even run. I'm gonna have to reset this. Definitely gonna have to reset my PlayStation. Guys, that was so bad. That was so bad. Oh my gosh, my PlayStation is struggling. Oh shit. The servers are shit. The game at this point, the lag is really bad to be played. You're joking. I'm dead, bruh. Dude, I'm fried, though. What? Dude! What is happening? Oh, he's just on this chair. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna restart. This is a horrible game. Dwight better get out. Yeah, why are you doing that, Jenna? I'm exposed. Ronnie, Ronathan, Ronathan, how are you doing? Girl, I'm lagging boots. I'm lagging so bad. Dwight. Get out, Dwight. Hi, boss. There you go. Is that better? I'm lagging so bad. You sound really quiet. How about now? Do I sound loud? No? No? No. Finally. No. Hello? Can you guys hear me better now? How about now? Can you hear me better? Nope. How about now? Do I sound better now? I lowered the game. Nope. Now you do. Thank you. As long as they sound better. A little. A little. That's not promising. Your mic is still very low though. My mic is not low at all. My mic's volume is so high. But you're hella low. But my mic volume is so high. Like, I'm not sure how to fix that. Okay. Hello? Can you hear me now? Because I want to play Fortnite. Ooh. Does my mic sound better? Be honest. There's really not much I can do. It seems like to be working way better after I unplug it. Yes. Okay, how are you guys doing? Vox, how are you? How was your weekend so far? Ronnie, maybe move the mic closer too? Like closer like this? Is that better for you? Does it sound good? Excuse me. Did you hear that? ASMR like this? FIFA is rigged as fuck. Tell me about it, Vox. Okay. I know we want the game volume to be better. Hold on. There you go. I'm burnt out. We just got back from going to our local MoMA. Ooh. That's cool. That's really cool. Did you have a lot of fun? And out to eat? Where'd you guys eat? Tell me all about it. What are some highlights? Taking what you just win and unnormalities. Taking the wins away. Why? I'm down to $100. Not Vox the Brokey. Does my mic sound better this close? I feel like it's so loud. Fortnite sounds fun. Alright, here we go. RPD for the win! It's so much better. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm still rubber banding because I didn't restart my PS. Oh, it's a Vommy mommy. Yup. I'm too laggy. I'm rubber banding so bad. Did she vomit on it? She did vomit on it. Like, Jake, why would you come back down, bro? And this pallet's gone. I'm rubber banding. Please. Please. I'm so laggy. Oh, it's working. Oh, it's working. It didn't work. I have 85 ping. This is not good. I need to reset my PS5. Within 2 minutes of the game is crazy. Like, why is it gone? Why is it gone? People want Argentina to win. They're gonna win against Brazil tonight. So put money on Argentina. Hello. Make the system work for you. That whiff was insane. I need to restart my PS5 and reset the internet. Rambo, hey, how you doing? Oh, I don't know. I can't tell what she is at plaything. Oh, she wants to go over here. Oh! I wonder if she saw that. I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm kind of tired today, but I'm ready to hang out. I need to reset my game. And probably my PS5. To see if the connection will change. Otherwise, I'm gonna change games. I can't play like this. Hello? I'm gonna stay here, cause girl, I can't run very fast. Actually, I should go south. I'm gonna make it sick. I have to. For the culture. Rambo, how was your week? Okay, Rambo, Ronnie, you had a very eventful day, even. How was dinner? I don't know if I missed your message or not. You know, with the mic breaking and everything. And then getting thrown up on. Oh! No! Not the DMS. I'm such a dum-dum. No! Puta! It's okay, my connection sucked. Oh, good try, Sable. Good try. I messed up. Baby girl. I think I'm gonna sack. I'm sorry. I don't see a way out of it. Not with my connection that's bad. Box movie. Box, how have you been? How's work been? Have you been traveling somewhere? So, what's up? Oh, that's cool. Like, girl, give it up. Give it up. Dude, I'm lagging so bad. That was funny. The save. Was it the save or a drop? What happened? Gotta go. I'm gonna make my build worth it. Come. Oh, I heard her. Oh, so close. Yeah, pick me up. He's so close to heal. Oh, that's so sad. I'm a free bitch now. Ooh, you quit your job, Box. What in tarnation? Why? What happened? Box has to call me baby girl. Oh. I'm a free bitch, baby. Okay. It's giving Lady Gaga. Sorry, guys. It's time to get out of this. Let's chat. Guys, let's have a chat. How are we doing? Okay, Vox, so you quit your job. So, how's life been since quitting your job, I bet? Incredibly fun. Fuck it. Quit your job, guys. Quit your job today. He didn't say no. Truly. He also didn't say yes. Oh, well, I can't. Me neither. But you can do it. Like, if anybody wants to quit their job, go do it. You got this. Me, I'll stay employed. Imagine quitting and being a mom, like, no more. Good luck. Writing my resignation out. Period. Period. Let me reset this game. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna run to the bathroom while this resets. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Me just waving bye to them as I walk. I feel like you'd be so sad though. Like, I know it is a job, but does it feel like a job all the time? You're such a good mom. I don't think you would ever. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna check my connection first. Otherwise, I'm gonna change the game. Alright, guys, I'm back. I know. Me asking David when his visitation is when we live together. Let's try this again. I also have a David. Yeah. Do you think the banquet lobbies are better? I did not like the banquet. Hot take. I don't know, I just like classic DBD. Sometimes the perks are not fun. Okay, we're loaded in. Let's try to load into a match. Quest notifications. Oh. Off. Give me everything. That makes me feel good. All these notifications. Gamma. Cool. Gonna annoy the shit out of me. Not you, Nicholas Cage. Ew, those sideburns are crazy. Those sideburns are insane on him. Ryan, how's your day today? What were you up to? Did you stream this morning? Did you get a chance to? I feel like I'm used to you streaming on Saturday mornings for some reason. I need to keep tabs on everyone's like announcements in their discourse. I'm so bad. I'm trying to get better, guys. I promise. It's going okay. Finally over dying. Cause were you still not feeling well? Even though you're still going to work, you weren't feeling well? I thought. Oh! No. 209 ping? Guys, the pingus. The pingus is struggling. It's because I'm not on my Ethernet. Oh. So, yes, please, send me your schedule. I need to join the newsletter or something. Guys. The clip is diabolical. Yeah. How could you catch me at such a vulnerable... Guys, I downloaded Black Ops 2. It's over. It's a wrap. We're playing zombies. We're playing zombies, guys. Get on this. No network connection? Do you think... Oh, is it gonna penalize me? No, don't put me in jail. Please, behavior. I promise it wasn't me. It wasn't on purpose. Take me back, Ash. It just got back. They just made it for the PS5. Update the stream title. When was the last time you DC'd? I don't know. I don't remember. No. I'm scared, guys. I'm scared. Marty, I'm scared. Okay. Phew. That was scary. I can't be locked up. Not like this. I think it's like once every 20 matches. You're good. Okay. So that was my one time. So I have to play 20 matches in order to get my get out of jail free card again. All right, let's see. 90 ping. Everyone's ping is off the charts, guys. What is going on? Let's see. Let's see. Oh. Ping's fine now. Oh, God. Spicy. Oh, the lunge is crazy! Fuck. Take it. Take it. Why would he do that? 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 Oh, did he get hazed? Did he get hazed? That's why he did it. Is that an add-on? That's crazy. I had haste too. Yeah, I got haste too. I didn't realize it. Transfer to working servers. Okay, but I didn't lag out. I wasn't rubber banding this time. I actually could try to chase, like try to run away. When you run through him bubble. yeah. I figured that. Foxies? Okay, cool. I don't know shit. I don't know anything by name. Very much, ooh, that happened to me. I'm gonna make a note of that. That could happen to me. Help me. Help me. Alright, well, let's go find a gen. Let's run over here. I have no idea where I'm at. Oh wait, the market's over here, isn't it? Okay, is this Shack? Yeah. There should be a gen right here. Oh, he's right here. Yeah, Leon, run. Leon, run. Ooh, Leon! Leon! Leon, please! Oh, good try, Leon! Okay, he goes to the pig. He lets me get this progress. Oh, he really does come to hit me! Oh. Kinda gagged. Kinda gagged. Just a little bit. Okay, you heard me scream. I'm gonna do some progress on this friend. Okay. No, let me heal you. Let me heal you. Let me use conviction, guys. Thank you, buddy. I'm gonna make him 99 me. Let's go. That's fine. That's perfect. We're gonna get so much progress on this. Friends. Oh, I'm exposed though. He got his haste. Oh, he's running. Look at him running. Look at him running. He is running his ass over here. Go to the gen. No. No, he wants to. He went to the gen. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the gen. Oh no, Leon. Leon. Oh, friends again. It's a wrap. Should have healed. He's getting haste. Please take him all the way. He's getting faster. No pallet. No pallet. He got faster. He got faster. He got faster. I'm faster. No! Oh. It's a wrap. Can't go back over there. So much value from life. I still have conviction. He's faster. I'm going this way. Ooh! Oh! Oh! I took him far. I got him away from everybody. Guys, no. Okay, finish it then. Pop it, pop it, pop it. She can work up. She can keep working. This is not bad. This is not bad. We're not in a bad. We can finish this. We can totally get out. I have so much faith. You can keep me here for a little longer. They're both coming for me. No, I think somebody should go to the gen. Come on, heal me. Quick, quick, quick. I think he goes to... I think he goes... He comes back here. No? He doesn't. Let's go to the gen. Go, go, go. Come on. Where's the gen she was working on over here? Here. Oh, Cheryl. Boy, am I glad to see you. We're all here! The gang's back together! Let's go. Let's go, lesbians! No! No, Leon! What are you doing? What happened? Well, let's go, lesbians. We have to figure it out. It's a good way to go. I think this way. I have conviction, guys. And Hatchet Shack. And we have to use it if necessary. Let's see. Does he come over here first? Oh, he's here. No, please! It's too soon. Yes, go for Cheryl. Don't come for me. He's gonna go for Hill? He doesn't. He goes for Cheryl. I'm not ready for this. I didn't think it was gonna happen so soon. Come on, get the door open. Oh, that's fine. I'm dead. 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 No! They get out though. They get out. Get out. Go. Be free. GG's. We ate that. We ate that. We ate that. That was fun. Gotta cheer myself up after that. Cheryl said, I'm not waiting for nobody. I'm going. I couldn't get back over there. I should have paid more attention to the door. Well, fuck Nori for losing me $100 and never given. Oh, box! Wow, that is crazy. What a crazy thing to say. You're too funny. Okay. Honestly, T, you know what? That's fair. There's something here. This is my favorite song. This song is so good. You hoes love my image. Yes, yes. The song is so good. One of one, 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 one. I love one of one. Period. Let me get my free gift. Oh, we got some more stuff. Ew. Global progress, 86 complete black banquet trials, 86 million out of 100 million. Isn't that crazy? I ate my carrot cake. Ooh, and now I'm sad that it's gone. I feel like Patrick and that. You ate my only food. Now I'm gonna starve. I think I'll eat it now. I think I'll eat it now. I love that episode. God, Patrick, what would we do without you? Guys, the office is gonna look pretty different soon. We're gonna add some more art to this wall, maybe some more lights. We're gonna add curtains again. I just have to get a new curtain rod. The guys who did work in here literally broke it. Hey. Oh, I wanna see this. Uh-oh. Oh. Not a girlfriend. Oh. God. Come on. Take the chase. Go, go, Laura, go. Good job, Laura. Laura. Basement. That's crazy. He's gonna hit that. I'm gonna try to get on stage. Ain't no way. Well, I used his power. Remember when Knight was close to us and we were all thriving? Honestly, put Knight in my Knight is an insta DC to me. Like, honestly and truly. Like, I hate going against Knight. Like, for real. Hey Laura, how's it going? How's it going? 0 gens done, by the way. Okay, we got one. We're almost done with another. Never mind. We have a lot of progress. He's still over here. Love that for us. Love that for us. This whole W. Like, sorry, besties, I will be throwing. He's like to make distance. Yeah, but like, what if I can't? Then what? Laura's a death hook, bro. What? I'll let her go to second. This is. Why is he over here? I get Laura. Laura, you need to take a hit. Honey baby. He left me. Then make room for me. Oh, period. I've been in lobbies crying alone. Oh, come play! Come play, come play. I'll definitely invite you after this. Let's play. We'll struggle together. I don't mind when lobbies are tough. They feel a lot of fun. It just forces me to like try hard a little. Bottom sisters. Bumpy purses. Damn, Laura, no. GG's to Laura. GG's Miss Laura. Look at him right over there. That's fine. No! No! Why did you come that way? Cause I wasn't crouched. I should've just ran away. He's trying to let that Laura out. It's a shame because she went to second. She went to second in the basement. Leon. That's not Leon. That's Mark. Mark. Oh. No. Come get me. Come get me. Well, I can't be healed yet, so that's not good. I can't be healed. Okay, I'm gonna go for the. Yeah. Please look for Leon. Don't come back this way. Oh, he's right there. It's a wrap, guys. It's a wrap. Ooh, big whiff, please! Run, baby, run, please! No, please! No! Please! Go inside! No, no! Yes! Yes! We got the chance done! We got the chance done! No! Don't do it! Don't do it! Oh my god! That was fun. We got the gens done. We got the gens done! Just get out! Just get out! This is why we play Gabe. Gabe is just big aura. Big aura. Like, we were doing so well. And y'all ate. Where'd the knight go? Oh, run! 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 Let's go! Good job, friends. And that's how you get out. 2 outs, not that bad. We did so good. Friends, we did so good. Vox, you want to play? Here. Justin Fox! I love that that's not my name still. Come play. I've never forgotten you. That was cute. Ding. We all will get out this time. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. The Jason. Oh, he got me. Please. Jason. We got a gen done. Let's go. Oh man. That was scary. That was scary. I wasn't even paying attention like that. I couldn't see. Thank you, box. Please. Just 99 me. You can hear me clap. Oh, wait. Oh, why is my health bar so low? This is so good. Wait. What? No way. And my health bar stays that way? Oh no. Oh no. He's right behind me, isn't he? That sound when he picks up the spear. Oh! Just whack! Oh, that looked like it hurt. We're so close. Oh, he's here, he's here, he's here. No, puta! Come on, please. I don't even have conviction. Oh, let me get into the... No! That was not good. I should have healed. Maybe that would have helped. What a waste. Go, go, go. I'll let you fully heal me this time. Lori, please. Thank you. This is not good. That was scary, guys. Did you guys hear that? That definitely wasn't me. Guys, I'm scared. Oh. Did he lose me? Well, what now? Hold gens, hold gens. Vox, you got this. Vox, you got this, you got this. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Down. Okay, Vox, you did good, you did good. You did so good. Pop it, pop it, pop it. Let's go. Okay. The doors are back here. We're so far. The doors are so far from me, friend. Somebody needs to get on the door. I'm by the hook. He's hiding. He's holding the hook. Come on, get the door in. Guys. GG. I was trying. I think we all could have gotten out there. Is Terminus? Wait, what does Terminus mean? With Mark, did you just... Oh, Vox, you're off hook though. What is Terminus? Is this considered no, there's a shack, right? Hatch is at shack. If you really need it. You got this. Go, go, go. Something. Oh, she's out. Let's go. Alright, 3 out. 3 out. 3 out, and Justin died. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. When exit gates are powered, everyone is broken until like a minute after the gates are... Oh. Everyone injures. Ow. Thank you guys for teaching me so much. I wish I knew names of stuff, so I love when you guys have the information. I'm like, oh, okay. But broken doesn't stop you from exiting, does it? Unless he has another perk or something. Is that the problem? Or is it just like you can't heal? Like you can't be healed, so you have to get out. Is it hard to get out? Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Guys, how do we like... I think I like this style. Okay, brutally honest moment, guys. I'm being vulnerable, okay? I'm being vulnerable. No one laugh too hard. Okay? I thought it would be cute for the letter J to be there. Now, looking at it, from my perspective, I looked at it and it looked like a J. Excuse me. Now, my camera is flipped. So imagine my surprise when the J didn't look like a J. So I made it this shape. And it's kind of cute still. I do need to fix my embryonics. I want her to be shown. I guess I could do this. Oh, they're all so cute sleeping. It's a cloud. I think so too. Like, very cloud. Very that. You know what? It's a cloud. All along. This whole time. Allie's laughing at me. Allie's always here when I'm making fun of myself. Listen, we use our brains at work, not on off time. Exactly. You know, when I was in school, I used to always say that I turned my brain off, like when school's over. When I was in summer, my brain's off. I don't use my brain. Another Jason. Locked in, guys. Oh, he's right here. Let's go. Put that down. He's here. Guys, that was scary. Guys, that was scary. I have nothing here. Guys, he wants me so bad. Guys. Oh! No! He can't get enough, guys. He can't get enough of me. I'm going right to that gen. Oh my god, Vox, you survived! Hey, friend! What's up? We're about to kill it! We're killing it! And the gen is popped! Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god, Jason! What is going on, girl? Hey! I think there's a gen back here. Oh! He's up. Oh! Oh my god! He's going after you. Okay. Run, run, run! Come. No, he doesn't want me. Come. No. Okay, we have to find the gen. Where's Vox? Yeah, already. He's gonna set me for 4 gens. Like, what is going on? Bestie, please! Let me live! Check it, check it, check it. 4 gens. No way! No way 4 gens. Was it? Wait, Ash, you're joking. Oh my god. Oh my god. I want to distract him. Does he see my scratch marks? No. You don't give a damn. I don't know where the doors are. I hit the door. He found Mark again. No! Fox! Fox, you icon! Fox! Go, go, go! Go, 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 go! Go! Let's go! Oh my god! Guys! Why did he do? I'm glad he did it. Respect. Respect. Let's go! Guys. Wait, Ash. Was that really a 4-gen chase? Run it back. Run the tapes. Never. Guys. Let's give you a trial, that'll be down. I don't think no one was hooked. Zero hooked. Where's your cake, baby? Look. I was trying to do a tome where I had to open a hatch and I haven't changed it. Let me put my cake on. Let me put my cake on. You're right, you're right. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Let me bring cake.
Seen a place
Bring
like
some
this.
cake. That was a good fucking game. Look at that. Run it back. We ate that. That was fun. That was so much fun. I cannot believe. I feel like he was chasing you forever. Oh, I don't have any cake. Hold on. No, I don't have any cake. I guess I'll play V. Or does Arella have cake?
Something isn't right here.
I have to play as V. V has cake. Is it the same? Woo! It's not conviction. It's do no harm. Let's do conviction. I really do want to get a conviction player too. That would be fun. Cakes that's on no BP. Yeah, I did. I redeemed the 10 mil. I dumped it into V. I didn't give a damn more, but. Whew. I just got shivered. If anybody wants to play, any of the homies want to come in, we can totally. We have 2 spots. If anybody wants to play, we can get a full squad. Excuse me. Unless you're trying to spread it across 5 P100s. Oh yeah. Okay, who are we all trying to P100 right now? I'm working on B. Taeyong, I think, is next. I think he's beating Dustin in the tiering. I think I want Taeyong next. And the more I see Adam Francis games, the more I want to play him. Taeyong, my baby boy. Tay Tay. Lil Tay Tay. We love Taeyong. Also, Shane. I'm interested in getting Shane. Maybe I can rack up some iridescent shells. Shards to get him. Why is not- You're scared me. You're scared. I was not expecting you to walk in here. Okay. It's not a Jason. You're P100 Shane next. Ooh. Focus on Tay. Barbie, welcome in. How are you doing? Oh, it's so good. It's a race. Race, baby. Bing, bing. Oh, it's a Jester raid. I wish I had that skin so bad. Hit the generator. Oh. Yes, thank you for the shout out for Barbie. Guys, go follow Barbie. Barbie is a whole vibe. Barbie is such a key. Oh, I brought him right to another gen. Shameless. Oh. Box, was that you again? Hotter than Satan's ass crack. Wait, Barbie, where are you from? Have you been enjoying the event? Okay, can I be real with chat for a second? I really don't care for the event. And maybe it's just because I like my DBD vanilla. I like it the way it's meant to be played. Like, am I crazy? Is that a wild thing to say? Like, the event is fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's really cute. Like, the little powers are cute. All that's cute. But where's my fear? I want to be scared. I want to run away. I don't want a little cake to save me. I think it's I don't know. I just want the survival instinct. I also don't care for it. It was fun the first but you're over it. Yeah, like, okay, now we got some power ups. Now what? Now how do you make this event different? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and who am I? Like, who cares what I think? You live in Vegas, baby! Not Vegas, that's crazy. It must be so hot in Vegas right now, actually. Oh! Loxy poo! Vete, vete. See, he goes for the bait. Yeah, he goes for the bait. He goes for the bait. He doesn't go for the bait. I feel like I have a flashlight or anything. If you get the pallet, I can help. Oh! Oh, good try. Good try. Oh! Why'd he hit you? I can't tell if he's still. Oh no, I see him. Vox, what did you do? 112? Ooh, that's my birthday. We all care what you think. Okay. Vox, stop making him mad. Why is he hitting you on hook? Vox, how did he... Where did he... Why did he... There you go. Let's get these doors open. Oh! Oh! Vox! What did you do? Vox, what did you do to him? Vox, what? Vox, listen here. What did you do? Why? So y'all are baddies. We've had some good games. Look, games have not been terrible. Nothing, baby. Because smacking you on the hook is insane. You just looped 10,000 down, boots. Period. Ryan, do you want to? Yes. Come play. Come play. Is there room for a hook? I'm booting up as fuck. Gotta change my name. Oh, wait, we haven't had a Rosa name change in a minute. Keep your name the same. Oh. Way back out. Way back out. Way back out. Way back out. Sorry, guys. Gotta go. Bye. Cooling vest to wear around? Oh, that's crazy. Wait, 112 is crazy. We are not hitting the hundreds just yet. It was very hot last week, and it's supposed to be hot next week as well. I think we were hitting like 98 though. As far as the event goes, like, let me fly. Give me a gun. Let me shoot the killer. Let me make it crazy. Why not? Give us weapons, just for the event. No power-ups, no speed boosts. Give me a sword. Okay, man. Give me a like, let me fight back. We knew he was coming back to the hook. That's why he was triggered. Yeah. Mariah, carry me. Wait, why'd you kind of eat? You kind of ate. I truly just wanted the cake. That's fair. No, that's honestly, the cakes make it worth it. But that's why they want you to play, so you can get the cakes. That's why they give you the cakes. The poison for Cusco. It's rare, but I play with friends. I didn't know you play OW. Yes. We played OW together before too. Ryan and I. Barbie, how's your weekend been so far? How was your week? Hope you had an easy one. I'm ready up. I'm also gonna go pee, but when I come back, I would love to know how you've been. How streams been. It's hard for me to be on Twitch. I love streaming because this is like when I can be on Twitch, but I know not everybody is like that, you know. And I try to be on Twitch when I'm not streaming, and it's really hard for me. But I love being in your streams, and I love hanging out with your friends, even if it's like literally lurker. Like I'm literally always poking there. Oh, I guess I have to leave pee because we're in a game. Let's just play. The weekend is when I work. Oh. But tomorrow's my Friday, and I'm saying, yes, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Isn't it the best after working like a good chunk of days? You're like, oh, I get a little break. Let's get to like a little me time. I love this song. Too velo! Too velo! Look at all that cake. Cake, 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 cake. We have the same brain rot. I'm sorry. I feel like that's millennial syndrome. Like we're just full of brain rot. We're full of like internet memes, you know? Oh! Vox. Vox always putting himself on the line for me. Oh. Oh! 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 I want some butter. Well, guys, I have to pee anyway. So. Mama, there's a slinger behind you. There's a big slinger behind you.
Someone?
He's right behind me,
Anyone?
isn't he? Thank you, kind stranger, my hero. Vox! Am I glad to see you?
I'm ready to rumble.
Alright. No. He's just staring menacingly. Finds Vox somehow. Ryan, I'm right over here, Ryan. Vox eating him up. Goonerson? Okay. Thank you for the follow. Listen. That is a crazy name. Let's go. Oh! He could see me! How did he see me? No! I was stuck. How did he see me? He has something with aura. He can see my aura somehow. He knew exactly where I'd be. Maybe? He was ready. He was like sniping hard.
I'm ready to rumble.
Yeah, don't even worry about the 99. Like, we're just gonna win. I don't wanna die, guys. I don't wanna die!
I've got you next
It's
time.
horrible. Go be brave. I just wanna be alive! Yeah, very bad. You can see me! Wow, how can you see me, bro? Oh my god! The rando! The random! Oh my god, random! Thank you! Thank you, random! The random! Oh my god, random! You god! Teammate! Teammate! Oh my god, Vox! Vox, my hero! God, the rando! Guys, the rando came in clutch! The rando came in clutch! Good job, rando! You ate! Rando, thank you! Oh, I should heal you. I'm sorry. I was so excited about the rando. Now you're hitting the booty. Alright, guys. Yeah, we just full send, I guess. Which door? Ryan, go. Run, Ryan, run. No, Ryan.
Oh yeah, let's rock.
Nope. No. Vox said, hello. GG's, Ryan. Fix the loop. No, fallen soldier. I had no idea which store you were on. For the hood. No, Ryan was on death row. Did he? Oh yeah, the Randall did open the door. Damn. Good job, guys. We gotta get that 4 out. All the homies need to get out. That was a good try. The Randall kind of slayed though. Came and saved me.
ไม่มีโรงละครหน้าขนลุกแล้วล่ะ
Ryan, I sent you out there to be brave too. I was like, go, be brave. Let me go use the bathroom real quick. I got just in time. Oh, no worries. You got the doors open, so I'm dead. Well, we need to get you out. We need to get the bestie out. Like, what are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about here, actually, but I'd rather we didn't. We gotta get the bestie out. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same without you. No, I didn't. I did not say that. I did not say that. Run the tapes. I didn't say it. I would never. Oh, that's crazy, Justy. No, after what we have, we have it so hurt, wounded even. No, no, not the sad puppy dog eyes. Hey. Oh no, singularity. No. Wait, I'm confused! I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Is that true? I don't know what I was doing. Wait, why did the pallet stun him? Because he was already TPing? Like, he was in his animation? I thought I would be able to stun him out of it. Then to get mangled, kind of crazy. Nice. Nice. Here comes Rusty. Here comes Rusty. Thank you, my friend.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Good try, Vox. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting the hook save happen. I'm almost out of mangles. Alright. Oh. I'm gonna go for the save. It's TPing. I'm gonna go for save. He's already back here. Ow! Goodbye, girl. Got a blast. Hey guys. Oh, we're on 2 different gens. Oh my god, let's go. I thought 3 of us were on this guy. Let's go. There we go. Yeah, we can go this way. Come on. Let's see if I got enough stone there. Got this nest. No, Vox. Ow. Does he go back for hook? Be honest. Vox, I'm by Shaq. No, Vox! Oh my god, where is this all happening? Oh, I see y'all. Fox. I'm at the gen. Come back to the gen if you need to. Look at all 3 of you running around. That is crazy. No, Vox. Just after Vox. Nasty. Oh, Laura! Run, Vox, run! Get out of there. Jen popped. No! Vox. Keep going. Go, go, go. Let's go, Laura. Let's go, please. I got you. Go, Vox, go. Ah! Go, go, Vox, go, go, Vox, go. That's fine. Vox. Vox! Vox! No! Oh my god, I'm sorry! I'm sorry. Here, pick me up, pick me up. No! 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 I was trying to get in between him and the TP. And I ran at you so bad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. How embarrassing. Good thing it means you would have overcome. Oh, that's good. That's good. You're absolutely right. He's just looking through his little nest. I'm sorry, Vox. Will you ever forgive me? It was my bad. I screamed at you so bad. I'm so sorry. Damn, son. Doors open. Y'all need to heal. Do I just die? I think I just looked out. Oh, there's no way. I have no health left. Just go, go, go. Just get out, get out, get out. He's still over here. Just go. Just vote. Just vote. I'd rather y'all get out. Yeah, he's still on me. There's no way. You guys were both hurt. Both had little bugs on you. I'm sorry, but we'll get him next time. We'll get him next time.
Nap time.
Guys, I'm not getting any conviction value. Not at all. Should I just do heals? Let's do heals. Let's just go for the heals. Box, forgive me. Please. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't ready. I hate that by chasing you. Thank goodness he was chasing you, because at least you can handle it. Literally watching the three of you sort of run around together was so funny. Actually. I'm sorry that happened. I should have taken down. Yeah, I low-key was trying. We were all trying to take it down, though. I think everyone was trying to. Even Laura put her body in there. Laura was like, "Get me in here!" Y'all were really trying. He was going for you, literally. He wanted that death. He wanted that. He was like, "Give me that." I should have teabagged. No. No. Hi, Em. Welcome in. Thanks for getting your check-in. How are you doing?
Showtime.
Not this. Not the Wesker. Oh. You're good? Oh my god, that's so good. Wait, what?
Is that
Oh. No. Vox got this. Vox. No, good try, Vox. I haven't had a Wesker in almost 3 weeks. I'm going crazy. Right in front of him. Big swings on Wesker. Oh. That's fine. 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 Matches haven't been bad at all. Matches haven't been bad at all. They've been a lot of fun. We've gotten a lot of like 2 or 3 outs. I think we got 1 out so far. We're just chilling. I'm just being silly goofy. That last match was rough. Like Singularity, not an insta DC, but definitely hard. And when's the last? What's the stream schedule like? Like I can't complain about matches. I think they've been fine. Nothing horrible. Thank you, Fran. I'm gonna go get that thing in the water. Oh, no. You did not hear me? What did I ask? Oh, what's your stream schedule like? I would love to pop in your streams every once in a while. I was just saying earlier that it's hard for me to be on Twitch when I'm not streaming, and I feel bad because I want to hang out with other people's streams. So I want to be better about being a little more active in people's chats, but that requires me knowing when people are streaming so I can be there. You know? Look at that. It's agenda. It's gonna go. Gummy box. Now Vox. Tuesday and Thursday, 7 Central. Ooh, I'm in Central too. Thank you for asking. We're all busy. Yeah, I know. We're also busy. Like, I know. I just want to make sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that was cute. I thought I definitely flipped that. Put that tentacle away. Oh, there's no pallet here. What?
too bad you won't
Brother,
make it
brother,
much
brother.
further?
Anyway. And like on my downtime, I just want to be on Twitch every once in a while, and I don't want to seem like I'm just not around, you know? Because I feel like I'm always lurking in people's chats that just don't chat. And I just want to get better about it. Because I want to hang out, you know? I find like Twitch is like a place where I'm just like chilling. So I can like just hang out and do other things while I'm on Twitch, you know? Thank you. He wants us dead, guys.
Awesome. Thanks.
Oh. Did we make a friend? Oh! Oh! Oh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, well, I guess we've tamed the beast. Vox, what did you do? Maybe he's just trying to get 2 hooks on everyone? Maybe. Maybe. I'm holding out hope he's nice. We had the same idea. Oh, no way. Where's there another gen? We did this one. Oh, over here. Oh, this is where chase is happening. Oh, maybe not right here. Where is the gen? Oh. Ryan eating him up. Now all 3 of us on 3 different jobs. What's your friend, guys? Let's go. Let's go, lesbians. Where'd you guys go? Where are you guys? I lost you guys somehow. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you guys. A shack? Oh, there you go. You guys in the basement? That's where you guys are. This hair cosmetic for V? I know. I love my fit for V. Oh, hell no. He's stuck there. No, no.
Are you trying to make me angry?
Never. The Powerpuff Girls fighting crime, trying to save the world. Ryan, be honest. Did you have him quaking? Did you have him quaking? Be honest. Guys, I'm playing one more game. One more game. Eating him up, I fear. Woo! I knew you would. And I knew you would. This is my last game. Then we're gonna end stream. No more games. Gotcha, gotcha. On another day. Another day. I would love to do a 12-hour stream. I'm trying to think of a good goal to get us there. We'll see. I haven't done a 12-hour stream in like years. 12-hour stream would be so fun, I think. I think it would literally have to be like right after work on the weekends. Right after work one weekend. I'm gonna eat. Thank you for games. Thank you for games, Fox. I missed you so much. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for playing with me. It means so much that you hung out with me today and like gave me so much of your time. I want to talk about you quitting. I'll text you. I'll DM you on Discord so we can catch up. I'm so happy that you're here. Like honestly, I miss you so much. Emily A, my guardian angel for real. Is Michaela Yoga? It is. It is. Well, yeah. Honestly, our fits kind of feel like cut from the same cloth, you know? Thank you for stream. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Em. It means so much to me that you're here hanging out with me. I get nervous about stream all the time, but I'm always proven wrong when I get here and people want to come hang out. I'm excited for I like DBD. Oh, it just I'm crazy about it. I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell you. Tomorrow we'll definitely resume the quarry though. I gotta stop procrastinating, and it has to happen. It's gonna happen. Okay, we're gonna do the quarry now. Monday for stream. I wanted to start a Pokemon Nuzlocke, but I'll be at work and get an itch for DBD. It's an addiction. Like, I literally want to play this game all the time. Play the quarry or else. I know. Stop it. Put it away. Put the gun down. I promise I'm gonna play it. I promise. Put the gun down. Don't shoot, please. I'm just a boy. Don't shoot me. Literally, moment I get home and I'm like, I need to de-stress, boot of DBD. Like, there's just something about it. There's something about the lights, the cameras, the tables, the chairs. Now, like I was saying, I want to play another log on stream. I want to play an Endless Nuzlocke. I've been doing some research on some fun mods or ROM hacks. It's just a matter of picking one. And I think I'm going to definitely choose an Emerald version situation. There's one I downloaded that is in the artwork of like the Generation 2 games, which I think is interesting. No, I'm dead. Oh, big whiff! Oh my god. Oh! I think this is a mistake. No, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. No, I made a mistake. This LG, right? It is its last game. This is a professional DVD movie. No way. Not me. Hello, Dr. Birkin. Yes, it's LG. Last game, best game. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I forget that one exists all the time. Because I miss you so much. Thank you for playing with me today. I miss so many of my Twitch friends. Like, I miss you guys all the time. You have no idea. I love hanging out with you, and when we don't hang out, I'm like, it's such a yearning. A yearning. Like,
You
please,
rule.
come back to me, Twitch. Thank you, friends. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Allegedly, I got a 4-gen chase earlier. I'll have to go back and see what the count was. That's so good. I've been having such a good time tonight. Like, hanging out with friends, gaming, chatting, having a silly goofy time. Honestly, at the beginning of the stream, we were struggling hard with our Wi-Fi, and it's because I wasn't hardwired. Awkward! But we figured that out pretty quickly. Alright. I think Nick is over there, so... Oh no, Nick's over here. Oh, Nicky boy. Turn back the clock! No! I think that no pal is my fault. Big sad, big sad, big sad. Turn back the clock. I think he just looked at it and exploded. Ryan, firmly. This is not good. This is not good. I can hold on. We need to get that gen Nick Cage was working on finished. Please finish that generator. Okay, this is on the gen. Michonne's coming to get me. Michonne's coming, Michonne's coming. Thank you, Superman. Ryan.
Next one's on me.
Come on, Nick. Get on another gen, please. Nick, get on another gen. There you go. Oh my gosh. Okay. What gen were you guys working on? There's a gen all the way over here. What's this gen? Ryan, let me heal you. I'm gonna go for save. I wish Michonne would just do the gen. Oh, she started this one. That gen had so much progress on it.
You rule.
LOL, the three of us just on this generator. Oh shit! I'm so sorry, guys. I'm an L. I'm so sorry. We got that on candid camera in 4K. Nice. Okay, I'm just gonna go for this door, I guess. I'm just going for it, guys. Full send, full send. Especially in that chase. Go for it, go for the save. No, Nick. Please, please. No, he goes for the kill. Got a blast, guys. GG's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nick. Please forgive us. You guys get out, right? I was looking for you guys. Oh, oh. Oh, honey. Hatch, no, not hatchet check, by the way. You guys gotta get him around somehow. Oh. No, no, no. Mama Michonne, just go out. Go out, please. Just leave. Mama Michonne just in chase. No worry. Ryan! Oh, good try, Ryan. Never. Nice. Never. I'm sorry, Ryan. What happened? I thought we could get out. I went back to look for you guys, and he was literally saw me. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Guys, pouring out for Ryan. What a fun little stream today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me so much, Ryan. I miss you so much. Thank you for playing. Hopefully we can get some games in this week. I would love that. I would love to get on your schedule, your busy schedule. It's fine. I sacrificed myself for Michonne. And we appreciate your sacrifice. Thank you guys for a great stream. Stream is always so much fun. You know, as tired as I was today, I'm happy I did this. I'm happy I'm here with you guys. I'm happy we get to hang out. I have a weird social life here, and so I like creating my own. I'm glad like I have created this little community of us to come and hang out together. Like, I wish I had all of you like so close to me, you know. And because of how busy I am, it's hard for me to go out and like socialize. So this is like my way of socializing at home, and it feels really good to hang out with you guys all the time. Thank you for streaming games, Ryan. You are honorary duo anytime. You know I'm always a text or a call away, and yeah, we should hang out soon. Thank you for streaming. I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good night. I love you guys so much. You guys are like honestly the best, and I'm so grateful for my little life here with you guys. I think we're not gonna raid out today. I think we're gonna just chill. And I appreciate you guys so much. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll be playing the quarry. That's it. I have to do it. We're playing the quarry. And boot back up right now, Lovey. Maybe I will. I'm gonna go get a snack. I'm gonna go hang out, and I'll remind you in the AM, please. I would love that. Yeah, the quarry tomorrow, and then I would love to start the Nuzlocke on Monday. If you guys would love to watch me, I would love to name some of the Pokemon after y'all. I'm really gonna take it seriously. Like I'm gonna put my skills to the test, and just try a little Nuzlocke. I hope to not kill anybody. Um, it'll be a hoe and run through, so I'm excited. And that'll be Monday after work, so maybe like 5 p.m. I'm thinking 5 p.m. Central. But details to come soon. I love you guys so much. I'll post in the Discord. I also kind of want to get some Sims stuff done off stream, so maybe we'll play